Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be building a wildcard draft for Game Week 25. If you're activating the wildcard draft or thinking about it, this video is for you. In today's video I'll show you all the fixtures from now till Game Week 38 and who I think we should be buying players from. Also got a little bit on the double game week in Game Week 26. Anyway, if you do like this type of video, hit that like button. My aim is to get 25 likes on this video. I'm also trying to get 3,000 subscribers before the end of the season. Hit that subscribe button. Anyway, intro out the way, let's just start building a wildcard draft for Game Week 25. So here's the fixture ticker from now to the end of the season. As you can see, Arsenal and Chelsea at the top. They potentially got a double game week in 26, but both of them can't have a double game week. That's because they both play each other in midweek this week. Whoever gets through to the Carabao Cup final will miss Game Week 31 and their fixture will be brought forward. So if Chelsea get knocked out by Arsenal midweek, then that game against Everton will move back into Game Week 31. I've already moved Crystal Palace and Man City out of that Game Week 31 fixture. I think Man City will get through to the Carabao Cup final. They can't have a double in Game Week 26 because Crystal Palace have got some European playoff matches in that midweek, so they can't play it, so that'll be moved to a different date. So that is where the double and blank game weeks could happen, but as you can see, Arsenal, Chelsea are at the top. The next four fixtures for Chelsea are really good. If they get the double before Game Week 25 deadline, then obviously you load up on 3 Chelsea players for that double game week and potentially some Everton players. If it's the Arsenal vs Wolves game, then you obviously buy 3 Arsenal players and potentially a Wolves player just for a double game week, and then potentially get rid of the Wolves player. But this is the fixture ticker. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. I'm just going to start building a wildcard draft. But if you want to screenshot this and have it in hand, feel free to screenshot it or pause the video to have a more detailed look on it. But let's start building a wildcard draft for Game Week 25. So in goal, I've gone with Verbruggen and Dubravka. You could potentially get somebody like Sanchez or Kelleher instead of Verbruggen if you've got the budget. That depends. If Chelsea have got a double game week, then you probably could look at getting somebody like Sanchez and saving a bit of budget. But I do like the Verbruggen-Dubravka pairing because you can swap them. I don't think you'll get many clean sheets out of Dubravka from now till the end of the season, but with him trying to get out of relegation and him playing all the time, he could get some save points. And back end of the season, when they need to get some draws, wins to stay in the league, maybe they start keeping a few clean sheets, so he could be a decent option when other teams are on the beach, as we say, where they're not going to get Europe, they're not going to get relegated, and then last few games they don't play that great. So Dubravka could be one of them ones where he'll play pretty much every game. He won't have a blank game week, so you can count on him in Game Week 31, especially when other players have got some blanks. But into defence, I've gone with Timber, Senesi, Gabriel, Chalobah and Anderson. I think you've got a defence there where you set up pretty much all season. It is a lot of budget being spent on 3 of the defenders in Chalobah, Gabriel and Timber, but I think you set up for the double game week in Game Week 26. You set up for the next 4 fixtures with Chalobah if he doesn't get a double game week, and then you can sell him in 28. Gabriel and Timber, I think Arsenal will keep the most clean sheets. With Arsenal now pushing to win the league, I don't think they'll rotate much with Timber for the next few game weeks and a double game week against Brentford and Wolves. I think they'll keep clean sheets in both of them, so I think I'll be getting 2 Arsenal defenders if they do get that double game week. Senesi's fixtures are really good at 4.8 million. He's one of them players that keeps getting DEFCON points, same with Anderson. Fulham are on a really good streak of fixtures and runs, so he could be a really good option. DEFCON points potential. Then into midfield, I've gone with Mbeumo, Enzo Fernandez, Bruno Fernandes, Rodgers and Declan Rice. With Declan Rice, obviously if they get a double in Game Week 26, Declan Rice could be a really good option. Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo. Mbeumo's playing as the striker at the moment, back-to-back goals against really hard teams in City and Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes is playing the number 10, looks really good. Enzo Fernandez, back-to-back goals in the Premier League, in the Champions League. with Palmer being a bit of an injury doubt sometimes, he potentially be on penalties. We don't know if Cole Palmer's going to be playing all the time. So if Cole Palmer's off the pitch, you expect him to be getting penalties, and he keeps getting himself into the box. So the way that Liam Rosenior plays, he's going to be playing a little bit more advanced and potentially get crashing the box. So he could be getting on to the end of a few crosses. And then I've gone with Morgan Rogers, Aston Villa's, which is really good. They've got Europe, but Watkins came off injured, but they've now got Tammy Abraham, so it's going to be interesting to see how Rogers and Tammy Abraham get on if Watkins is out for a few weeks. But I still think Rogers is a really good player. He scored again midweek. Then for the forwards, I've gone with Thiago, Haaland and Mane. This is with the thought process that Arsenal get a double in game week 26. If this is obviously wrong and Arsenal and Wolves don't get the double in game week 26, then obviously you don't go with this. But I think Thiago, Haaland and Mane is a really good front three. Thiago, I know he's not got the next two fixtures aren't great, but after that the fixtures are really good. You're expecting him to play all the time, which is good. He's got no European fixtures, so he's going to have a week's rest before matches. He's on penalties, and I think the price he is one of them players that there isn't many players, strikers, that are going to match him for goals, I don't think. I understand you don't want to have him for the next two match days, but just after that, you don't really want to be booking in transfers. If you're using your wildcard, you want a squad that you can really set and forget, really. I know, obviously, you don't want to do that. You've got transfers to burn, but when you get to these double and blank game weeks, you want to be buying players that have got the doubles and blanks and not worrying about having to sell some players out your squad. And at least with players like Thiago, you know they're going to be playing every minute. And I think with a lot of this squad, that's exactly what you're going to get. If we get news or we find out by the result that Chelsea actually knock out Arsenal, then you could actually sell Mbeumo, Declan Rice and Mane. Instead of Mbeumo, you could get somebody like Cole Palmer and triple up on Chelsea. I know I've just said that you're not too sure about his minutes, but if he's getting a double game week and he's got the fixtures that he's got in the next 4 fixtures, Cole Palmer showed he came off the bench against Napoli and got 2 assists in 45 minutes, looked really good. So you could get Palmer instead of Mbeumo, instead of Declan Rice, you could get somebody like Callum Wilson to drop down the price. And then instead of Mane, you could get somebody like Krupi Jr., because Mane is not going to have a double game week in 26, then you don't really want Mane. With Strand Larsen going, maybe Mane plays a lot further up front, but if you want to get Krupi, because they haven't got a double game week, Bournemouth have got some really good fixtures. I expect Krupi might not play all the time, but at 4.6 million, it could be a really good option to sit on your bench and be ready just so you can have a better midfield. You can have a 5-man midfield and a 5-man defence, and your third striker can sit third on your bench basically with Krupi, and if you need him for one of the games or you think he's going to start, then obviously you can pick him in your side. Obviously this isn't locked in. We need to find out who actually gets through in the Carabao Cup final. If it's Arsenal, then it's probably this type of formation. If it's Chelsea that get through, then as I said, it probably Cole Palmer, Wilson, Krupi that come in for Mbeumo, Rice and Mane. There we have it for my wildcard draft for game week 25. Let me know if I missed anybody out. Get in the comment section and let me know. If you like this kind of stuff, as I said, hit that subscribe button. We aim to get 3,000 subscribers before the end of the season. Also hit that like button before we finish. We aim to get 25 likes on this video. We'll be back in a few days to do a transfer targets video for game week 25. Anyway, signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.